So before my toolbar here, I will just put a navigation title, and we are going to say here add payment. But because this again, let's make it also smaller, navigation, and this is inline. Because this view we are going to use for two purposes. We are going to add payment, or we are going to edit payment. So this part will be a little bit dynamic depending if we are editing or adding, which we will do a little bit later. All right, so our preview, everything is nice and working. So I'm going to get rid of this part. And for our add payment to work, we are going to pass a loan here. So we say var loan of type loan object. Right, so now we have this loan object which we passed into our payment view. So we need a way to pass this to our view model. All right, because if I for example, if I initialize a add payment view model and pass a loan there, then we need to initialize this outside before we navigate to the add payment view. Because if, let me jump here, and let's say if we have a var loan here, then this will require an initializer of type loan. All right, and we say self.loan is equals loan. Then when we come here, whenever I initialize the view model, I need to pass a loan, and I cannot pass this loan here because when this is getting initialized, this loan is not available. So then we have to initialize this before we navigate to add payment view, which is basically, we don't have a navigation yet for that, because our payment, whenever we click the add button, where is it? Nothing happens yet. So technically, whenever we click on this add button, we need to initialize the view model and give the loan to it so that we can navigate to that. The other option is, let's put this everything back. All right. We will keep the loan here because we need to pass that, but we will have, why is this complaining? Oh, let me put this as an optional for now, because it says that we don't have an initializer and the error should go away. So what we will do is every time this view appears, after our toolbar, I will put on appear, and on appear, this block of code will be called every time our view appears. So what we need to do is we can take this loan object, because we pass it to our add payment view, and we can send it to our view model. So to do that, we are going to create a function in our view model that will set the loan object. It's like an initializer, but it's just a function there. So let's say add payment. Here on top, I'm going to say func set loan object, and we will pass a loan, which is a type of loan, and it doesn't return anything. So this basically, like the initializer we had, says self loan equals to loan that we are passing, and this is an optional. All right, we can actually do this private var payment, because we are only setting the private var loan. We are only setting this through the function, which is the function is inside our class anyway, so nobody can access this loan outside of our class. So go to our on appear, we access our view model dot set loan object, and now I can pass my loan object from here. So every time we open our add payments view, which is getting initialized, we appears, we are setting our view model loan object that we have passed here. Just to prove that that is working, actually a test, let's say print our loan is, and let's pass the name of the loan. Alrighty, so and we need to pass default value, or we can actually say wrap name, but anyway our loan is an optional, so let's just pass no name here. All right, So let's go to our oh, it's getting this loan here, which is not an optional. Okay. Now it will ask for a default value. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to our payments view. And what we need to do is to transition from our payments view and go to our add payment. All right. So the thing here is, actually, we don't need a button. We need a navigation link because we want to navigate. So we say navigation link with title and value. Value and label, not title and value. So the value is what we want to pass. We want to pass our loan, yes. So we will say we want to pass the loan, which is the loan here. The label is our image. So I will cut this out from here. And the padding we will add to our image so the top area is bigger. And let's get rid of this button part because now our navigation link is our button. But you will see a problem now because our navigation link is passing a loan, right? And here we have a navigation link that is passing a loan. And our navigation destination knows that every time I get a loan object passed to me, I should go to the payments view. And now if I run, so let's say I'm in loan 1 and I want to go to the add a payment. So here we would imagine that we want to go to the add payments view, but we are coming to the same place because we are passing a loan object and our navigation is going to our payments view. I will go back. I will be also in our payments view because we are adding more and more payments view to our navigation stack every time I click on it. All right. So now we need some kind of way to pass a loan object, but to go to a different view of our choice. So to do that, we are going to use a handy way of creating a navigation destination. So let's create a Swift file, call this destination. And in this file, we are going to have a simple enum. Call destination. And it should conform to hashable. All right. So our destination is going to be the object that we are going to navigate to, but it's going to have a lot of different options. So we say case payment. And here we can pass an object. We are going to pass a loan object for our payment. Then we will have another case called add payment. Again, we are passing a loan object, but the difference is that now we can tell to our all loans that we want to navigate using our destination and go to payments, and it will take us one place. And then when we go to on add payments, and this will take us to a different place. So let's go to our all loans view. Let me remove this because we don't need that. And our navigation value, instead of being loan, now will be a destination dot, and then we can choose where we want to go. I want to go to the payments. And then it says, please pass the loan here. So we pass our loan to this, all right? So now we are not passing a loan object, but we are passing a destination object here. And our destination object currently has two things, but if you want, it can have 100. Doesn't matter how many destinations you need, it will pass it here. Just add an extra case there. And if you want to pass a value, you just put what value it takes in. So our destination is passed here, which is good, but we need to tell our navigation destination what to do when you are receiving a destination. So now our navigation destination is taking a loan. We will say we would like to take a destination, and then we get a destination here. And remember, this is an enum, all right? So what we do with our destination, we will have a switch statement on our destination. So for every different type of destination that we receive, we are going to navigate to a different place. So we say case add payment and case, oh, what's the other one called? Payment. Actually, this should come first. Dot payment. Again, we are passing our this is actually, we are getting a loan. Or no. Destination and all right. So what we did is we are receiving a destination object. Then we are switching on our destination object. In case if we are passing a payment, we want to go to our payment view. We pass our loan there. And in case if we are passing add payment, we want to go to add payment view. Another thing you should keep an eye is that I am putting this navigation destination in my all loans view. But in my payments view, there is no navigation destination here, but I can still use this navigation link. And the reason is that this navigation destination, you need only once for each view hierarchy, because the payment comes after our all loans. So it just put it on the navigation stack. We can have only this navigation destination here, and that it will still recognize our navigation stack, still recognizes what it has to do every time it gets passed, whatever value it's passed. So in our payments view, now we don't want to pass a loan. We want to again pass a destination, but this time we want to go to add payments, and then we pass a loan object there. So let's run and see if this is working. Right now, if I click here, I'm being moved to our loan. And if I click on the plus button, I'm going to my add payments. So everything is working. And you can see that our loan is loan 1. This is being printed, so our loan is being transferred correctly. And let's try the loan 2. Because our loan is 2. So we have access to our loan object. All we need, and this is test as well, everything is working. This button is active now. And the keyboard is decimal. So what we need to do is now to create a loan object. It's going to happen in our add payment view model. Everything is set. We have our functions here. So let's create a function called save payment. And here we are going to create a payment, a new payment. But as you remember, I told you before that this view is going to be used for 2 cases, to add a payment as well as to edit a payment. So let's call the save payment function every time we click on the button. Save payment. But our save payment will decide what it should do. Because in case if it's in edit mode, we want to edit our current payment, or if it's in create mode, we want to create a new payment. So let's create 2 private functions. And the reason they are private is that nobody from outside of this class should have access to them. This will be create payment, create new payment. Okay. And another one is, let's duplicate this one. And let's call this update payment. All right. So right now I'm just going to call create payment from our save, because right now we are only focusing on creating. We don't have the option to edit anything yet, but this will be dynamic, call any of these 2 functions. So create new payment. What we want to do is to create a new payment is equals to payment, and we just pass our context, which is persistent controller, shared view context. Now we have a payment. Let's put parameters. New payment ID is UUID string. New payment dot amount is equals to, again, we convert it to double, whatever is our amount. Or if it's nil, we just pass nil coalescence and put the 0 there. New payment dot date is equals our date, and finally new payment dot loan is equals our loan object, and we say persistence controller shared save. All right, so this will create a payment. That's very cool. We have added our button linked to our function, so let's try to create a payment for one of our loans. Let's go to the loan one, create a payment of 10,000, date today, click done. And let's see, it received the 10,000, but it's not formatted. We are going to